joy it is to be here today for this spectacular celebration of the magic of Rotary. I bring you warm greetings from Rotary International President Stephanie Urchick, who is so proud of the work that you're doing here in the Philippines and incredibly grateful for your unwavering commitment to service above self. And may I say, it's not every day you walk into a room of over 2,025 change makers, visionaries and young leaders and feel like you're already part of the family. So thank you for making me feel so welcome. I know we've seen on the screen the four-way test that we all hold close to our hearts, but my belief is a shared belief that I've always had, I think you live it here, that there is actually a five-way test. And the fifth one is, will it be fun? Something tells me you guys know how to have fun. Today I want to share some stories, big and small, that reveal the soul of Rotary. We'll journey from the global vision to your local legacy, and finally, to more of a personal moment that reminds me every day that Rotary is the gift that keeps on giving. Rotary is a global force of over 1.2 million people of action, united across cultures, languages, and generations. I believe you all know the Rotary vision. Would you like to say it with me? Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. And I'll come back to that last piece of the vision statement. Personally, I think that's something we don't talk about nearly enough, the impact on ourselves. Under our action plan, we're guided by four priorities: increase our impact, expand our reach, enhance participant engagement, and adapt to a changing world. And I know that District Governor Tracy has been doing a great job in making sure she leads you in alignment with those four top priorities. These aren't just strategic pillars, they're a call to lead with boldness, serve with relevance, and make a lasting difference. There's no better example of that than our fight to end polio. Let's pause to recognize something historic. The first oral polio vaccine drop under Rotary's leadership happened right here in District 3830 in Guadalupe, Viejo, Makati in September 1979. Well done you. It was part of a visionary 3-H grant led by the Rotary Club of Malolos, with the support from past Rotary International Director Benny Santos, and done in partnership with the Philippine Ministry of Health. Present that day were many Rotary leaders: Payong Hechanova, Matt Caparas, and the then Rotary International President James Bomar, who administered the very first drop himself. That moment sparked a movement, and by 1985, Polio Plus was born. In 1988, the Global Polio Eradication Initiative followed. So when we talk about eradicating polio, wherever we are in the world, let's be clear, it started here, in this district, in this country. You should be very, very proud of yourselves. In February 2013, as a District Governor nominee, I actually joined a polio immunization day trip to India. And when I told my daughter Chloe that I was going to go with other Rotarians to help vaccinate children, she said, "That's great, Mum. What's polio?" She was being raised in the United States, and it reminded me of how easily success can lead to forgetting, and why we must finish what we started. That trip was actually life-changing for me. Like many of you possibly, I had the privilege of dropping those 2 life-saving drops into the mouths of many, many small children. Do you know how they tell if the children are under 5? They can't touch their ear if they're under 5, so that's how they know that they're the ones that need the polio drops. There's nothing quite like the feeling of knowing that you've helped safeguard a child's future. That trip I also attended a Rotary-led conference co-hosted with the Indian Prime Minister. Leaders from Afghanistan, Pakistan and Nigeria were there to hear one clear message. If India can do it, so can you. One of the speakers that day was K.R. Ravi Ravindran. Now that should be a little familiar to you, that name, because he went on to be one of our Rotary International presidents. At the time, I think he was an incoming governor when he shared this powerful story of what happened in his own country, Sri Lanka. He had written to the leader of the Tamil Tigers. They were a difficult faction that controlled the mountainous area of the inside of Sri Lanka, and he knew that if India could stand a chance to eradicate polio, then Sri Lanka should lead the way. So he wrote to the leader of the Tamil Tigers, asking for safe access to vaccinate children in that conflict zone. Everyone thought he'd gone crazy. Who writes to leaders of the terrorist organizations? But he did it. And at the conference, he literally held up a letter in his hand, and it was a reply. And the reply said, "Our war is not against the children. You tell us when you want to vaccinate, and we will down our weapons." Wow, right? That still gives me chills every time I say it. That, my friends, is the power of Rotary. We are non-religious, non-political, and that gives us access where no one else can go. And you've carried that legacy forward brilliantly here in District 3830, not just through action, but through advocacy. Your End Polio Now campaigns you so tirelessly support are dynamic and visible, fun runs and motorcades, lighting up the globe at the Mall of Asia, billboards across Metro Manila, and engaging with students from schools like De La Salle University. This is how we tell the Rotary story, with energy, with creativity, and with impact. You are showing the world that Rotary looks like and inviting others to be part of it. Your projects here in District 3830 are nothing short of magical, may I say. Suitable theme for the year. Your district grants program shows strategic generosity, priority projects being held in maternal and child health, other pillar projects across all of the areas of focus, and regular grants for diverse community needs, as well as grants for the Rotaract-led service as well. Fantastic. One standout is 1,000 Days of Life, partnering with local eateries to feed pregnant women, nursing mothers and children under 5 with added nutrition counselling. I've only been here a short time, but I have heard so many people share with me with huge pride written all over their face about the projects that you're all working on. It's so lovely to see. You also built the Binyan Friendship Village multi-purpose building, and the district, you partnered on that with District 3620 in South Korea. South Korea, where are you? I know you're in here somewhere. Thank you. And thank you for our lovely interpreter from Turkey to help with the interpretation. It's a testament to that, to global collaboration, as is the other international, multinational presence here for this conference this weekend, from countries like Canada, Mongolia, Malaysia, Taiwan. I'm sure there's many others, and it's just a pleasure because that is the absolute magic of Rotary, that international pull. Your signature projects show your heart. The Gift of Life surgeries by the Rotary Club of McCarthy West. Thank you. Water fountains for 70 schools, 70. Food production global grants supporting farming cooperatives. Surgeries for the Barrios, reaching underserved communities, and rapid composting for environmental impact. as well as neonatal ICU upgrades and ultrasound equipment for the maternal care. It goes on, and I understand there's 29 global grants so far this year. That is off the charts around the Rotary world. Yes, give yourselves a round of applause, you deserve it. And this is what it looks like to live your values locally and globally. So now I'd just like to go on and share something of a little bit more of a personal nature. In 2007, because of course personal is where it all comes home, in 2007 my husband Will and I brought our 2 children, Sam and Chloe, to Zambia with a group of Rotarians. They were just 11 and 13 at that time, and as it happened, Will was born and raised in Zambia, so for him it was like coming home, and we'd set a goal, even before we'd had children, if I'm honest, because we're crazy goal setters. If we were blessed to have them, we would take them to his home country. And of course, it was Rotary that provided us that opportunity. So they were raised in this privileged world of the US, around Chicago. But in Zambia, they saw joy and resilience in the people with almost nothing. They couldn't believe that people who did not even know when they were going to eat next were so happy and singing to them, when their friends at school were often moaning about not having the latest Nike shoes or the best iPhone, or the iPhone was cracked. It really blew them away and had a huge impact on them. When Sam bought his first car at the age of 16, he worked very hard to save up for it. He said to me, "Mum, I think I need a personalised license plate." And I said, "Oh no, have I taught you nothing?" He said, "Oh yes, but I do." And I said, "Well, I'm not buying that for you." But he had his own money, and he went out and bought it. And to my surprise, the car plate, said Zikomo, which means gratitude in Zambian. And even when he sold that car, he kept that license plate above his bed when he went to university. And so Chloe, it impacted her in many ways, but let me just fast forward a little bit to 2015, when she was actually 20, and she had come home from university, and I had taken her to the local Rotary Club, my Rotary Club, where we were doing the handover from one club president to the other, like I'm sure you all do. And unknown to me at the time, she went up to somebody and said, "Can I be a speaker at the club one day?" But I didn't know that she did that. However, one morning, when she asked me if she could come to Rotary with me at 7 o'clock in the morning, I felt a little suspicious. I thought, that's rather strange for a university student to want to go to a 7 o'clock in the morning meeting. And little did I realize, before I knew it, she was stood at this sort of lectern, and she was asking if she could read a letter. And she had written this letter to the club members who she'd known since she was so little, when I joined Rotary Club. And I would like to read you a short extract of that letter that she wrote, and as I'm reading it, I'd like you all to imagine that she's reading this to you. "I was never a project in your eyes. I never was a goal or the beneficiary of a fundraiser. Yet I, along with many, may be one of your most underestimated accomplishments. While you were improving someone's home, I was learning dedication. While you were serving the homeless, I was experiencing empathy. And while you were fundraising, I was sweeping floors, being shown that no task is too menial for anyone. While you were bringing clean water to villages in Zambia, I was learning gratitude in the most humbling way any 11-year-old could ever experience. It's not just the people you serve who benefit, it's the many others that you inspire to do the same. If not for you, I would not be an international volunteer enthusiast and non-profit leadership and management major, and someone who already knows that her passion is to serve others and dedicate her life to sustainable international development." Woo! I got through it. Woo! It still chokes me up to think that a 20-year-old wrote those words to my own club to thank them for how they helped raise her. That, my friends, is the ripple effect of Rotary. That is the magic of what you do. And as it happens, that magic came full circle this very week. On Wednesday night, the day I arrived here in Manila, I shared Chloe's letter during a small private dinner at the home of Cory Navarro. And as I read those words aloud, there were tears around the table, including those, wait for it, of my ex-husband Will, who was seated right beside me. Confused? Well, I hadn't seen Will for some time, but by some amazing coincidence, I found out on Tuesday morning of this week that he was also here in Manila for work. Until today, he actually left today. And in the true spirit of Rotary hospitality, Cory and her partner Paul kindly invited Will to join us all for dinner. But the coincidences did not stop there. Cory's daughter, Camille, had helped plan the evening and had even written, beautiful job she did, had even written some personalised menu cards. And when she saw Will's name, she suddenly realised that he had been a speaker at one of her Entrepreneurs Organisation events. So Camille and her son ended up joining us for the whole rest of the night. It was a beautiful, emotional and unforgettable evening, filled with laughter, reconnection and stories that reminded me once again, Rotary really is the gift that just keeps on giving. Have you ever stopped to reflect on what is your personal story, how Rotary has been a gift in your life? How many of you feel that Rotary has been a gift to you personally? So my question to you is, as we talk about growing and we talk about membership growth, can I ask, who are you going to give that gift to? Imagine it that way. So as we celebrate this incredible weekend together, I ask you all to hold close the reason you joined Rotary and all the lives that you touched along the way. Let's grow with purpose, serve with heart, lead with courage, and together let's keep being the gift that keeps on giving. Mabuhay, District 3830, and thank you from the bottom of my heart.